Securing your future is always something that we strive for, and one of the biggest factors of that is financial understanding. Let's find out how to make that happen. So what do we gain from trying to understand our finances? You gain the fundamentals of understanding essential topics like budgeting, saving, investing, and protecting your assets. Knowledge empowers you to make better financial decisions, avoid common pitfalls, and plan long-term goals like buying a home, sending children to college, or retiring comfortably. When should you start? The answer is now. It's never too early or too late to improve your financial literacy. And who's gonna help you get to that promised land? Amanda, of course. Family has always been the most important thing to Amanda. She's been on a mission to help the structure of families financially, just like she did her own. She uses her vast knowledge and achievements to teach how money works with simple money management concepts. Amanda is here to help you every step of the way. Contact her and start your journey towards financial independence today.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Outside the Playbook. The boy I-Test pulled up one time for the one time. We're going to be previewing the playoffs. And you know what? It's something I wanted to address before we get into all that, because I made a video the other day talking about how Steph Curry should have been the finals MVP in 2015. And the comments got a little crazy. Dude was saying I was a clown and how I didn't watch the series, how I needed to do my research. Then I was like, you know what? Let me fact check myself. Typed in a few statements. And one thing I learned about college is it don't take a whole lot for you to figure out somebody plagiarized some information. So, buddy, if you gonna use Google AI to get all your information on the basketball series, just make sure it's not copied word for word. Now, one of the points he made, he was like, you know, when Iguodala was on the court, when he guarded LeBron, 26 points, about 38%. And then when LeBron was on the court without Iggy on the court, he shot somewhere around 44% for 35 points per game. And that was the per 36. All right, so that's a fine point. But you also got to mention this. There's a couple things that you probably left out when you was making an assessment. Number one, he wasn't 11 for 46. He's about 15 for 45 when guarded by Iggy in isolation. Of those 45, I'd say about 30 to 32 of those were makeable shots that I've seen LeBron make thousands of times. It wasn't a situation where Iggy was just forcing LeBron to miss shots. It's not a situation where Iggy was just so dominant and bothersome defensively that LeBron was having a bad series. That's not the case at all. So I say of 30 to 32, LeBron should have hit those. All right. When I look at about 5 or 6 of them, help defense was there. Now, the situation with the Cleveland Cavaliers 2015, their weakness was 3-point shooting. So you had a situation, LeBron in the post or in the high post, right? And you have cheating from the nail. That is the top of the key area. All right. So the nail is the middle of the free throw line all the way up the middle of the court. So from the nail, you had Klay Thompson cheating over. The low man was Andrew Bogut. And then you have Iggy on ball. That is 3 all defensive players. And then you have another one with Draymond Green roaming the court. All right, so all eyes were on LeBron James, especially after game 1. Then you have another situation where LeBron shot 42% that playoffs. People don't even realize and pay attention to the fact that LeBron was trash that playoffs. He had a lot of points. He was scoring a lot of points, rebounds, assists, but percentage-wise, he was just jacking up shots. The man was 42% for the whole playoffs, and then he got to the NBA Finals, he shoot around 39%. That's not a whole lot of drop-off when you consider the fact that he's shooting terribly, no Kyrie, no Kevin Love, so he's going to shoot even more shots. I mean, one game he was 18 for 38. I mean, Iguodala is a good defender, but I'd say only maybe 5 to 8 of those opportunities that LeBron had were forced by Iguodala playing stout defense. Like, I'm not talking about, a late contest. I'm not talking about, You know, LeBron gets by Iggy and blows a layup because Andrew Bogut and Draymond Green come over to block the shot. Like, I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about one-on-one, mano-a-mano. I'd say only 5 to 8 of those was bothersome by Iggy. That's for the whole series. And then you want to go through the fact that, like I said, Kyrie's not there. So LeBron's attempts just went from 30 to probably 40 or somewhere in that range, or 25 to all the way up to 35. And again, he's already shooting terribly. The 108 minutes that Iggy was guarding LeBron, okay, that's 108 minutes. You forget that LeBron James played 274 minutes in that series. So you're probably missing the fact that Draymond Green took over a ton of opportunities to guard LeBron. Defensive Player of the Year, all defensive team member. You probably forgot the fact that Harrison Barnes was the one that started every game on LeBron up until game 4 with no Andrew Bogut. You're probably missing the fact that you have Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Andrew Bogut, all on the basketball court with Stephen Curry. 4 all defensive team members. And the only thing they did was load up one side of the court, put Iggy on the island, and then you had a trap coming from the low man, and then you had a guy at the nail, which is most likely Klay Thompson or Harrison Barnes, always cheating over. So they're playing 2 guys at once. So now that I got that out of the way, all right, we can actually start with the current Golden State Warriors. Golden State versus the Houston Rockets. Golden State got the job done. We had a playoff Jimmy sighting. So that was nice. I mean, it didn't happen in the Miami Heat uniform. Kind of pissed me off a little bit. But there is a playoff Jimmy sighting. How you feeling about Golden State going into the playoffs? First of all, how you doing the eye test? I just had a couple things to get off my chest.
No. You had to do your thing. No, everything going all right, brother. I really couldn't wait for you to go ahead and respond to bro. So, like, you know, I just had my popcorn ready. That's all that is.
Man,
Shout
listen, because I keep it respectful, but
yeah,
but you just gonna call me a clown and a dummy on my own channel?
You know how it is. The internet go internet, man.
All right, man. Like, you know, some people jumped at him. You know, I appreciate that. Everybody got my back in the chat, but daggone, I mean, don't do that.
Especially when you don't know. Especially when you know you don't know what you're saying like completely. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or you might be making or attempting to make a very small point that may or may not have anything to do with the grand scheme of it all.
Oh, no,
you know what I mean?
No context.
You know, so like even if you're trying to say like one specific thing about him versus Iggy or anything of that, and I'm just speaking from just a very he still had 38 points. You know what I'm saying? He still averaged well over 35 points and everything else involved. He was clearly he led both teams in every category. So it's
like bro, just for context, really okay?
You know? Yeah.
35, 13, 8, 35, 13, and 8. The man won an ESPY award for best championship performance, and he lost. The dude that was guarding him got MVP because for some reason he was playing this, you know, stout defense, limited LeBron in the minutes he was on the court. And
now you remember they argued about the fact that like whether or not he was gonna be the second person to receive Finals MVP on the loss.
Yes.
Like, so that was also in the play.
Yes.
So let's just make sure we keep that there as well in context.
And I wouldn't have been mad about it.
No, I wouldn't have been
not even a little bit. But people have this idea that Steph, and this is the narrative that started. People have this idea that Stephen Curry didn't show up in the finals, didn't play well, this and that and all this. Bro, this man averaged 11 points in the fourth quarter in the NBA Finals. That almost equaled Iggy's entire output for the finals. Had almost the same amount of rebounds, had more assists, had more steals, barely had less blocks. I mean, what are we talking about here? He had to guard LeBron, and LeBron destroyed that man. Like, I don't know what people are considering when we have these conversations, but it's not just about the numbers. Right? Nah. I threw out a lot of numbers because just being frank, I can't take the whole NBA Finals clip and put it in my videos because I like doing what I do. I don't want nobody taking my page down.
Right.
But I do have NBA League Pass, and I do have access to watch every single one of these NBA Finals games if I wanted to. And when I did watch it, what I saw was not great. Not the best defense I've ever seen played on LeBron James. It was just LeBron missing LeBron shot. I mean, come on now. Turn fade over the right shoulder and Iggy playing with his hands down. Clank off the side of the rim. Short. The man was playing 46 minutes a night too. Let's throw that in there. So, look, come on now. When you can switch out with Draymond, a couple possessions here and there, switch out with Harrison Barnes, switch out with Klay Thompson every now and then, like, come on now. Let's not act like this man single-handedly stopped brother from getting 36 points in the finals. He held him to 35.
Yeah. That's, I mean, yeah. You said all of it, man. I can't even lie. Like, ain't nothing I can even add to that. I'll be honest with you, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So let's not go with that narrative. Let's talk about something real quick that, I mean, for everybody at home, Miami Heat fan talking to a Miami Heat fan, right?
Word.
We knew this was gonna happen. We knew come this time of year. We know what Jimmy Butler does. All right, this is no secret. How do you feel about the narrative that, you know, I don't even think it's a narrative at this point. It's just common knowledge. Jimmy's not going to play like Jimmy Butler for the first several months of the season, but come April, lights is bright. He's going to show us that he's arguably one of the best players in the entire world.
Word.
Do you think that played a role in the Miami Heat's performance over the last couple of years?
His lack of, like, in the regular season?
Yeah. Just sleepwalking.
Yeah. I think he also gets really, really motivated. I mean, obviously their situation was like very much so money based, but maybe also talent based. You know what I mean? Like where he might have saw the writing on the wall as well. Like, you know. In terms of like their ceiling, you know what I mean? It wasn't a whole lot of changes, and maybe like from his standpoint, there may have not been a lot of improvement as a team. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe by the time like you know they had some other additions. You know, you and I talked about having a center to help out Bam. You know, obviously we talked about other aspect of who. When it comes to like going all the way to the finals, who can play defense and things of that nature. Obviously, we got, you know, they done gave, you know, players done like came and went. You know, I felt like when they had Strauss and everybody else, that was going to be like a way better situation for him to maybe be happier. But then when all of that happened, all the other separation happened, I think that from there, it was just like, all right, we didn't really improve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we didn't really improve as much as like we could have, especially considering we went twice, you know, with me being, you know, whatever I absolutely have to be in order for us to get there. So I think with Golden State right now, I think for him it's just that. Like I think he probably wanted that to be the case as well with Philly, where he had a chance to still be himself and showcase being himself, but also he can rely on like pivotal people that can just get it done. Like he said the other day, man, like a true Batman or, you know what I mean? And Steph Curry or just, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. What bothers me the most is it becomes a conversation where we say, you know, you should have got him more help. Pat Riley sleeping on the job. When in actuality, players have confirmed Pat Riley was all ready to go. All right. Pat Riley's biggest issue was his interaction with the players. I mean, Jimmy took it as disrespect. Tyler Hero took it as a challenge. And we see the different results based on the different type of personalities of players that are involved. When you look at Mickey Arison, he shot down the trade for Bradley Beal. He shot down Kyrie Irving. He shot down trade for Kevin Durant. That's not Pat Riley. Okay. So that's one side. So you got Mick Arison. Okay, cool. You got Pat Riley's interaction with Jimmy and, Tyler Hero, the comments he made, shut up, play ball. If you're not on the court, don't antagonize. Tyler Hero, you soft, get in the weight room. Two different responses. Cool, I understand that. But we seen what it looks like when Jimmy goes the entire regular season playing like Jimmy Butler. It doesn't take anything away from his playoff performances. It doesn't. The year that he actually locked in, they were a number 1 seed. And they had a less talented team than they've had the past couple seasons. It was a less talented team. He was just the dude that was going crazy every single night playing to that level. You get the number 1 seed, you beat the Hawks, you get to the conference finals. You're one shot away from an NBA Finals appearance for what? I mean, that would have been, 3 out of 5 years?
3
right?
out of 5, yeah.
3 out of 5. So you're one shot away from that. And you didn't do anything extraordinary. You didn't go out and get a big-time free agent. The only thing you did was you went and traded for Kyle Lowry. That's it. So, I mean, I see people's point. Need stars to win championships and all this other things. Cool. But if you've ever paid attention to Jimmy Butler, Jimmy just doesn't play in the regular season like he's capable of. Golden State seen it just as, the man only averaged 17 points, 4-4 or something like that. 17, 5-5 since being in Golden State. It's not like he came in putting up 25 a night, ran the table, and they got into the playoffs. Like that's not what happened. The man came in last night, realized it was playoff time, dropped 38 points. You know what I mean? So, with that being in mind, playoff Jimmy is activated. The chef is back in the kitchen. We seen Ime Udoka take some shots at the Golden State Warriors, talking about how they couldn't handle it, talking about how they had this great game plan and scheme for Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. Two of the most pettiest superstars. I think we both can agree. Those two don't forget a single thing. You add in Draymond Green to the mix.
Oh, yeah.
How you feel about Golden State versus Houston? 7-game series, 52-30 team in Houston, 48-34 in Golden State. And let's think about this. There's a 4-game difference from the 2 seed to the 7 seed out west.
When I think about the Rockets, dude, I wanted to be a great series, but honestly, I feel like I kind of feel like the Rockets are in trouble, man. Yeah, I can't lie. I know, we say young team and everything else. I don't think it's gonna be. Let me put it this way. I don't think it's gonna be a sweep. I don't think it's gonna be a sweep. But when I look at the team, I hate to say young because they got vets and things of that nature, but
yeah,
I don't know. I would say the only thing that'll hold this series down is if I feel like if Thompson just goes crazy, man. Anything that's needed, whether scoring, assists, block shots, rebound. I feel like he will be the key to them potentially beating the Warriors. Yeah, but I know it's why, but I think because his athleticism, his eye, his brain when he see ball, get ball. You know what I mean? It's almost like him and his brothers both like that. And
Them
because of
boys
the
is
fact
built
that I
different.
think that he's still
They are built different.
Degree, yeah, I think to a degree. He's still not necessarily on the scouting report yet. Not fully to me, to the point of showcasing what he can fully do. And I think with that, it's gonna draw some issues. Personally, he's super strong. Like I said, super strong, super athletic. Yeah, they're going to have a tough time trying to chase around Steph and things of that nature. But, I definitely think it's going to be more or less of a composure situation when it comes to them. Do I think they're going to win the whole series? I think they might lose to the Warriors, but yeah, I'll just leave it there. I think they might lose.
I pick Golden State. I pick Golden State in 6. All right,
Okay.
I got Golden State in 6. And reason being is simply from what I said a minute ago. I mean, you're just trying to antagonize two players that are, when they're laser focused. Okay, Jimmy Butler, and is widely considered that Drew Holiday is one of the best perimeter players of this generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's widely considered. Fed that man 96 points in a span of 72 hours because he was antagonized.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry, okay? I don't think there's a reason we continue to take for granted, and we always talk about this when in terms of LeBron James. We take for granted how petty this man is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a situation, him and PJ Washington, they had an exchange. He seen a video, or he seen PJ Washington walk to the bench in a game versus the Warriors. Did the night-night. Seen a video, PJ Washington walking in the tunnel, doing the night-night. Third quarter, Steph never does this, all right? Never. Step back 3 over PJ Washington. They call a timeout. He hits the night-night early.
Mm-hmm.
Early. I mean, it's the level of petty, right? So you know for a fact that the only thing Steph and Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green have been thinking about is the comments Ime Udoka made about how they scheme so well to match up with Houston. You have Dylan Brooks. Okay, we've seen what it looks like when it's somebody with a battery in their back constantly going at Jimmy Butler. We've seen that. We've seen what it looks like when Stephen Curry has length on him, trying to bother and disrupt him. He's going to shake free. Don't worry about that. My biggest issue with Golden State, they need to find a way, and I'm sure this is going to start a conversation. They need to find a way to get Jonathan Kuminga in the rotation. They need to find a way. All right. And this in the last year, this turns out to be Steve Kerr's biggest Achilles, finding out how to play good players, finding a way to play great players or put them on the basketball court with other good players. For whatever reason, Jason Tatum didn't play in Team USA at all. I mean, he played a handful of times, but it was meaningless minutes, right? Goes a whole couple games, never sees the basketball court. Steve Kerr says, I'm sorry, I can't find a way to get an NBA champion on the basketball court, but we'll play Derek White and Drew Holiday.
Yeah, I feel
All right,
yeah,
bro.
I was about to say, I think he was being
All right.
petty, man. I know how they feel. I know how people think Steve Kerr and his demeanor, but I feel like he was being petty for sure.
He was being petty, but
I swear that man, I don't even know that man, but like I personally think he was being like super petty.
But like to the
Wait, let me ask you this real quick. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you feel like with Kuminga, right?
Hello? Oh no. Oh no, we lost him. We lost my mans. Where you go? You good? You there?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just blacked out.
Oh, okay.
We good.
All right.
Live technical difficulties. We ain't
It's
shying
all
away
good.
from it. We ain't
It's all
shying
good.
away from it.
Do you feel like he's reached his ceiling?
No. No,
Okay.
I just think it's the coach he's playing for.
Mm.
And you know what? In actuality, I think it should have been Andrew Wiggins and Kuminga going to Miami. It should have been.
Okay.
It should have been, because Kuminga needs to be in a situation, and he's someone who, if he can sense that you don't have confidence in him, then you can visibly see his confidence diminish. He's a young player. I mean, it's not like he's a legitimate vet. He hasn't really had his opportunity to really showcase, I can be that next guy.
Right.
And then it probably took another hit to his confidence that you don't feel I can be that guy. You're not playing me at all. So you do a trade and you bring in Jimmy Butler to do what I've been telling you I think I can, step into. It's not a slight to get, against him to go and get Jimmy Butler. That's not a slight. The slight
No,
is
not at all.
that you look down your bench and you're skipping over a guy that the most athletic player on the team. I don't even know if that's debatable. The most athletic player on the team. Worked extremely hard on his mid-range game. Can post up, can attack the basket, a lob threat. You can put the ball in his hands. He knows how to get a bucket. And now only thing you need to do is say, all right, here's your opportunity. I have faith on you. That bench unit, you come in the game. Let's put you with, Moody. Let's put you with Post. Kevon Looney. Let's put you guys on the floor and let you guys have at it. That's never happened. That's never been the case. So if you look at the flip side, you're Jonathan Kuminga on one side. You're not getting opportunities. You're not getting minutes. You're not getting looked at for the things you bring to the table. But you look at the opposite side of the court. You got guys like Thompson. You got guys like Jabari Smith who are quite similar in your styles of play. They're just, you put those two guys together. That's your style of play. Defensive, athletic, can knock down a midi, can score, can get his own shot, can play in the system, set screens, roll, get a lob, all those things. And you just see certain guys around the league getting the opportunities that you should be getting. That's going to weigh on you. So I think Jonathan Kuminga's gone. He's gone this summer. He's gone. And you know what? If you think about it, it could get a little dangerous because I hear there's a 7-foot Slim Reaper available in Phoenix. And we know what happens when Golden State likes to spend money.
I hope so.
No, I hope not. We need to avoid that because I'm not trying to see Steph, Jimmy, KD, Draymond in the same lineup. I'm not doing that.
I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not doing that.
Let me tell you why selfishly. Selfishly, I would because when we was working at the mortgage company, dude.
Yeah.
And I feel like I wish I would have just made better decisions during that time. But like it was I was a single man doing single things. But every holiday party, literally the same day, every year during that time we played the Warriors, and it would irk me because I would have to decide whether to go see the Warriors play, or that. Obviously, I thought they was gonna be together for a longer time during that period, and so I kind of just, I was one of them where I'm like, man, do I have fun with the homies and everybody else? Do I go see, And then I look back and I'm just like, dang, dude, I could have really went to the game and saw magic, like, what I'm saying, went to the game and saw like greatness, like I could have, it's one of them. So I'm like, yo, if I get a chance to, see them not necessarily running back with the same team, and obviously they're a little older, but like still that'll be insane to see.
I want to ask you about somebody who, and I'll see if you agree with me on this, but we have not really, I ain't seen or heard nothing from this dude since they won the championship in 2019. Came into Houston, he was supposed to be, a game changer for them. Only thing I see out of him is just crash out after crash out, getting ejected. What do you see from Fred VanVleet this series?
Fred Van, I don't know, dude.
It's just he doesn't move any needle for me. He just, and I mean no disrespect to this player I'm about to name, but he's just like DJ Augustine.
Okay.
Like okay, yeah, you can handle, you can knock down threes, but you put DJ Augustine as your starting point guard, it's like I don't know if he's the guy at this point in time that's going to help us get over the hump when you look across and you see another one of those dudes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like Fred VanVleet in this situation, you look across and it's Steph Curry. You like, I don't know if we have enough at this position when we're combating that. You know what I mean? Because Thompson, he's a defensive stopper. He's not going to provide you with 25 to 30 a night. All right, that's Jalen. That's Jalen Green. Jalen Green can do that. We're gonna find out very quickly if this is another conversation for probably another episode. But is Jalen Green going to become what we hope Ja Morant would be? In a sense that I feel like Ja Morant isn't. You know, like I said, we'll have this conversation in another episode. But I don't think Ja Morant's really a prolific scorer. You know what I mean?
No,
I don't think he's a prolific scorer. I think Jalen Green has the scorer's mentality. Like,
okay, I get what you're saying.
Like, if you, for example, if you watch the game, last night, it was like a late game situation, and Ja Morant didn't touch the ball 2 straight possessions going down the court. Like, didn't touch the basketball in a half court set. You know what I mean? Right. I feel like Jalen Green has the mindset like, I wish somebody would try to take this basketball out of my hands right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
I think Ja Morant, it'll happen, and then Ja, he's going to crash out later.
Right.
I think Jalen, that's going to happen. He's going to crash out the next time you go down the court. If some doesn't go, right, he's getting the ball the next time out the court. Like, there's no question about that. I've seen it numerous times, especially when he go against Cade Cunningham. That smoke that's there, anytime he sees Cade on the other side, Jalen Green's getting the ball every time out the court. He's got to get a touch.
Let me ask you something real quick about that. Now, granted, when they had, I know the coach just got fired not too long ago. Memphis, I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so, do you feel like they still have like the offense they had before? Like, obviously they had like a little thing where Ja, I believe Edie, a couple other people felt like it didn't. I guess the word is optimize their game.
It didn't optimize Ja Morant because.
But I'm saying, like, with that being said, do you feel like, because I didn't watch, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch the last game. Last couple actually, just with personal issues. But like, do you feel like they still kind of run that offense, like that same similar offense right now, and not necessarily like the pick and roll from before? So I would say, with that being said, I would say even with those final minutes, I'm asking you that. With those final minutes, like them running that offense, do you blame it more on that than just like a Ja Morant, give me the ball and let me go?
Ja Morant, give me the ball and let me go. 100%. Okay. Because it's playoff time.
Got you.
Playoff time. In that moment, game plan goes out the window when you have one of those players.
Okay.
Game plan goes out the window. Because if you watch Golden State, Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler were sitting on the bench. Buddy Hield was in between them. All right. Coach called the play. I'm pretty sure. I think Buddy Hield got a shot out of that play. Doesn't matter. I mean, to them, it don't matter. Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry both looked at him. Hey, you need to give up the rock. Winning time, we need to have the ball in our hands. All right. If you look at the opposite side, Desmond Bane, when Ja Morant was out, he became a better facilitator.
For sure.
He became a more focal point of the offense. So you had some success. First of all, Memphis was a 2 seed when this dude got fired. So it's not like everything was going, going down the tubes. But when you look at the way Desmond Bane has been playing, whether Ja Morant is there or not, in his mind, I'm still going to keep playing the same way. Why should I have to take a step back? Why should I have to regress now that you're back in the lineup? Now it's a situation like the offense is working for everybody. It's not just for you anymore. You need to come in and get in where you fit in. Now, get in where you fit in does not mean stand off to the side, late game situations while we're trying to hunt for a shot. You are Ja Morant. When it is winning time, you still demand the basketball. Aside from the fact that you're selling the tickets, aside from the fact you're selling the jerseys, aside from the fact that we came to watch you play, you're the best player on your team. The responsibility is still there. I don't care what the coach called. Give me the ball, clear it out, pick and roll. Or if I have the matchup, I'm getting downhill. Move. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes basketball becomes so complicated for people. It becomes so complicated when in the biggest moments, Ja has proved he can make plays. Why not just put the ball in your best player's hands and let him make a play? And I think that's the biggest thing that, you know, that frustrates me about like NBA players. Like, bro, it's not disrespect to say, all right, coach called this, but I'm still the best player on the court. If I'm the Denver Nuggets, the coach called this, I'm Nikola Jokic. I'm the best player in the world. If I see something, move. Get out my way. I got it. We communicating to the coach. We right here. 3-time MVP, NBA Finals MVP, champion, best player in the world, Mike Malone. Hey, this is what I see. This is what I'm working with. Clear out. We don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Players just don't do that. They rather, all right, coach called this play. We ran it. It didn't work. I'm mad after the game. He's fired. No, you lost the game because you didn't handle your business.
Right.
In that moment, you need to go to the coach like, hey, this is what I'm seeing. This needs to change. Because after Mike Malone was fired, you see videos of Nikola Jokic versus Sacramento Kings going through plays on the clipboard, drawing up stuff like, hey, this is what I'm seeing. When this guy does this, you do this. This will work out this way. Why can't you do that on the fly? Like, hey, we called this play. No, forget that. No. Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, DHO won us a championship. Until somebody figures out how to stop that, that's what we're running late game situations.
Right.
I mean, they sometimes it gets a little more complicated than it needs to be. But in terms of Jalen Green, in terms of him taking that next step, I think he's going to have to understand that now, getting into the playoffs, teams are going to be looking at it as we stop this guy, we have a chance to just cut off the head of the snake, right? So I think he's going to have to be smarter with his decisions and his shot attempts and make sure he's not taking situations where it's like, no matter what, I'm going to get this shot off. No matter what, I'm going to get my 15 to 20 field goal attempts up. Now it's got to be, all right, I'm probably going to get maybe 5 clean looks a game because they're hunting for me. How can I get 5 clean looks in my spots every single time I need to? Then from there is, all right, I know I have a big man that can pass the ball. Sengun. All right. How can I play off him to get another 3 to 5 extra shots? Right? Right? Because you throw it to him, DHO, cool, we can make that work. Now, all right, let's think about this. If I'm in a situation where I'm feeling out the game, who's one player that you think you can get going that's going to, all right, now they're paying attention to him? Cool. Dylan Brooks. I'm going to get you some wide open shots. I'm going to get you maybe, 2 to 4 wide open threes. You start hitting the shots, okay. Now the floor spacing increases, right? Now those driving lanes, because we can't leave, and this is something, with high school basketball, colleges are doing this. I don't know if the NBA does this. Only certain teams do this to a certain degree is, now you can't leave ball side shooter. I put my shooter that's on fire, got 3 or 4 threes in the corner. I got my big at the elbow, got me isolation one-on-one, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to be somebody like, maybe Moody. I think, you might see Jimmy Butler take the responsibility on. But I got that dude on the island. I'm quicker, faster. I got a quick trigger. His one dribble pull-up has improved. I can get downhill, and I'm explosive. I'm very explosive. There's nobody on your team that's going to meet me at the rim. All right? So you have to figure out how to play chess through this series. This is going to be a learning curve because you look on the other side, and you see Steph Curry doing those things. All right, Moses Moody is going. Pajemski's going. Okay, Jimmy Butler. If I come set a screen for Jimmy, or I come off of that, 2 are going to come with me. Nobody's going to follow Jimmy. Jimmy has a wide open dunk. Okay, now Jimmy's going. Now Jimmy sees the ball going through the basket. He's getting fouls. Okay, so now I have a one-on-one opportunity with Thompson. And I am an all-time great. We've seen what this man did for Team USA. And listen, I've seen a lot of Team USA performances, okay? A lot of them. That's probably the greatest performance I have ever seen of anybody wearing a Team USA jersey. What he did in the championship game and the game leading up to that one, phenomenal. Phenomenal, right? When you have Kevin Durant and LeBron James standing, watching, and waiting in late game situations, you wanted them once. You wanted them once, all right? So in that situation, you got Thompson on the island, one-on-one. It's a little bit different because I think in the last game they played Houston, they struggled a little bit from the field. So when you had everybody rolling like a machine, you got everybody involved, knocking down wide open shots, Jimmy's rolling, Draymond Green is going to be Draymond. So it's going to be, Draymond Green, Dylan Brooks, who's going to crash out first. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be Draymond. But in the playoffs, that gets the crowd going. That gets that energy going. And you have Jimmy to feed off of that. Now they're going to be playing off each other. This is going to be a situation where you cannot afford to take ill-advised shots, wasted opportunities. So this is going to be the biggest learning curve for Jalen Green, I feel like.
I think also to your point about Kuminga, man, I also think that he's gonna be needed. I don't want to say more than ever, but he's definitely gonna be needed this series. Obviously, like I look at the Rockets and I go, okay, they held Steph to what, 3 points last go round.
Yeah.
I think that they're gonna be like too confident about that. I mean, obviously you should be confident about it.
Yeah.
Obviously you should come into the game wanting to win and everything like that. But I feel like that when I look at Kuminga, I'm like, okay, we're going to need you. They're gonna need as many people as they can in that series, to be honest with you. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him not being involved for the sake of minutes or anything like that.
Yeah. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense.
I mean, he had 19 last time. But still, I still want at least somewhere around 25 personally.
Yeah. Now, Ant-Man, Bruh-Man, Pac-Man, Lakers at 5. Let's talk about Minnesota versus the Lakers. And I think we think very similarly. Very similarly, we see the game in a similar way. I don't see a reason this goes past 5 games. I don't see a reason. Let me put it to you like this, all right? Minnesota hasn't shown me anything that gives me any other inclination that they are going to have X amount of success in this series. You lose Karl Anthony Towns. That didn't matter really until this series. Reason being is, I said it in the video, LeBron, Vandy, Rui, now they don't have a guy that they have to run out and cover. You know what I mean? Julius Randle can knock it down, but he's not as efficient and not as scary as a shooter. The floor is a lot smaller, so they're athletic. They can get around quick. They can move around, cover a lot of ground. Offensively, Anthony Edwards is going to jack up a ton of threes. Most threes in the league this year, cool. But he's going to jack up a lot of three-pointers. So when you look at that, not playing as efficient, right? You have Rudy Gobert. So if you're not scoring a ton of points on one side of the basketball, you come down, you're Rudy Gobert, you're still, Dancing with the Stars come on 7 p.m. every night. All right? We know what that looked like. Rudy Gobert guarding Luka Doncic on the switch. That's a bucket. LeBron James with Rudy Gobert on. That's a bucket. I don't see a reason Julius Randle is going to be able to guard LeBron James. Question is, who is Anthony Edwards going to guard? Because you got to think. Austin Reeves is coming into his own now. So there's no way you can hide Anthony Edwards anymore. 1 through 3, he's got to guard somebody.
Right.
Because, he's their second best perimeter defender behind McDaniels, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to guard one of those 3 guys. Guarding those type of players where you have to guard against 20 plus shot attempts a night, and you need to get 30 points a night yourself, based on his shot profile, meaning he's going to take 8 to 12 threes a game. It's not going to work out because your legs not going to be there.
Let me ask you, what would be the perfect scenario for Minnesota winning this series?
The perfect scenario for Minnesota is I need Julius Randle to be a triple-double threat. I need Julius Randle to give me 20. I need him to give me 11 to 12 boards. And I need 7 assists. I need 7 assists. Because the thing about Julius Randle is he's gifted enough to do those things, but sometimes he turn out the lights.
You good?
Yeah, I got you back. I got you back.
Okay.
I got you back. But my thing with hey man, hey, we ain't afraid of no technical difficulties.
Right. I'm like,
but my thing with Julius Randle is he got echo. We echoing? Let me turn this down real quick. Is it good? We good? Let me know.
let's see.
We good? Yo. But I'm gonna keep going. One thing with Julius Randle is he disappears so much throughout the course of a basketball game.
You good now, bro?
I'm good. I think it was something with the camera.
Yep.
But yeah, he disappears so much throughout the course of the game, and it's like, all right, 5 or 6 possessions go by. Julius Randle ain't got a touch. I guarantee you, the next time he touches the basketball, he gonna jack up a crazy shot. It's a given. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's all right. You know, I ain't had a touch. You know, I'm a throw up a terrible shot. We're gonna have a terrible possession. I don't think he can play that way. Shout out to y'all in the chat for letting me know.
Yeah, shout out Edge Bros, man.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Now, one thing that I do think is going to be even more important is how many minutes is Rudy Gobert going to play over Naz Reid? Because I like it. And then let's take this a step further. Is Rudy Gobert going to start past 1 or 2 games? Let's be honest, because I mean, you look at the Olympics, they couldn't even play him no more versus Team USA. Right. You look at the style of the Lakers that the Lakers play. I mean, Naz Reid and Julius Randle with McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, and then you throw in Mike Conley. That's your best bet to defend against the Lakers. Yeah. And you know what? Your best bet is also your worst bet, because not putting size and a rim protector on the court when you have to guard LeBron James and Luka Doncic. So you're at a catch-22. So I don't see any way that the Timberwolves escape. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that. The only way they escape is Anthony Edwards got to go for 45 plus every single night. Right. 40 plus. We'll say 40 plus every night. Because if he goes for 40 plus, that means 2 things. He's being efficient. All right, he's going to be efficient, and he's putting somebody in foul trouble. If I'm Anthony Edwards, the first order of business, I got to get Austin Reeves out of the game. I got to get him out of the game, and I mean mentally. I have to mentally take him out of the game. Take him out first. Now it's Luka and LeBron. Cool. I'd like the odds better if it's 2 of them rolling versus all 3, because all 3 of them rolling, and you got to factor in not just the points. We're talking about points and assists. That's over 120 points worth of output. 30 from Bron, 30 from Luka, 20 to 25 from Austin Reeves. Luka's probably going to have 10 assists. LeBron's going to probably have 8, and you get 6 from Austin Reeves. That's too much to handle. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We got Edge Bros. Edge Bros said Rudy can't switch good enough.
Rudy don't got good feet. Rudy
ain't got no legs.
Hey, you seen Major Payne?
Man.
He said, Bubba, that's because they ain't there. I looked down and them nubs was kicking real fast. Said, Bubba, that's because they ain't there. Unless you can flip up and walk on your hands, you ain't gonna make it.
Man, he got a better chance of doing that.
Man,
to be honest with you.
Yeah, Rudy he can't slide on defense. This is one of the most intriguing series to me. Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets. How do you feel about this series? Knowing going into the series, Denver Nuggets, they no longer have their coach. That's one factor. Yeah. Second factor is Kawhi Leonard. He looks like it's 2019 again. Third factor, Nuggets lose this series, Russell Westbrook is going to be blamed. Fourth factor, Clippers haven't sniffed the second round or conference finals in a while. So how much time does Ty Lue have on the clock? Those are four factors. I mean, how do you feel going into this series?
Okay. A few days ago, I streamed and I talked about the fact that I'm like the beginning of the season we talked about, man. I talked about Denver going all the way. Mm-hmm. And granted, coach is gone. I wasn't even the other day. I thought I still said I was gonna stay with my selection. You know what I mean? I said that I wanted to be Boston, Denver, and it's tough because bro, the bench is just not it. G, the bench is not it. And those young guys, man, I'm a little scared right now. I'm gonna still stay with Denver. I still feel like even with Kawhi being Kawhi, they didn't give Kawhi a sense of being. So he back in action. And I just I don't know. I feel like as much as I love James, I feel like James gonna James it up, man. I just feel like it's gonna be a chance where I just feel like there's a chance. It's gonna be kind of scary, but I just feel like yeah. Now let me also ask you this though. Do you feel like the Clippers are the underdogs in this situation right now? Even considering what's going on in Denver? Or do you feel like the other way around?
Denver's the underdogs.
Okay.
Denver's the underdogs because you got to, and the reason why I say that is because you got to think about the type of players and the type of coach that Ty Lue is.
Yeah.
And then the type of players that James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. If you look at James Harden's career, his biggest success comes off of, I need to find the matchup, and I'm going to attack that every time. Kawhi Leonard's thing is, I have the matchup every single time. It doesn't matter who you're going to put on him. All right? Kawhi Leonard cannot be stopped one-on-one, and that is Denver's biggest weakness. So the reason why the Denver Nuggets are the underdog is because they cannot get stops, especially against elite players. And people want to talk about Russell Westbrook and, why are they playing? The biggest problem on the basketball court is Michael Porter Jr. Denver in 6, Shay Sharp voice, Ed Bros. I think it goes 7, but I do agree with Denver moving on. But the reason why is, like I said, MPJ is a liability defensively. The biggest liability. I mean, they'll win a game by 15 and he'll have a -9 in the column for plus minus. I mean, it's just, the boy don't do anything but shoot. That's the only thing he know how to do. He shoot. And then he can average 8 rebounds. He can average 9 rebounds, but he only does that every now and then. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in this series, Nikola Jokic is going to have to go for 40-point triple-double. He's going to have to. Because you also got to factor in, all right, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard. We don't want, Norman Powell to have one of those games where he goes crazy, gets you 20 to 25 or 4 or 5 threes on the night. You got to mention Bogdanovic. He's a wild card too. You also got to talk about Zubac. He can hold his own. 12 rebounds a game. He can chip in 15 points himself just feeding off of James Harden. And then Kawhi Leonard's going to find his way to be on the island. Nathan Manning, Clippers in 7.
Shout out Nathan. Shout out Edge Bros.
The only reason I say I disagree with Clippers in 7 is because of where Game 7 is going to be. And we know what happens when James Harden gets into a Game 7. I mean, just ask Steph Curry about that. Now, do you think that Nikola Jokic, I mean, Jamal Murray, he should be healthy. Aaron Gordon, he's probably going to be guarding Kawhi Leonard. Do you think this is a series where Nikola Jokic has to go for 40-point triple-double? Or do you think you're going to see a lot more from Jamal Murray and, the whole crew? I mean, Pickett's probably going to be in the starting lineup, considering the coach got fired for playing Westbrook over him. I don't know what the situation is with Brown. He's missed some time. I'm thinking he's healthy. Do you think Nikola Jokic has to go to that place this early in the playoffs for them to make it out of this round?
Yeah, I say yeah. It's not necessarily out of necessity, but for cushion. To be honest with you,
okay.
I think it can still go either way when it comes to. No, I'm not even gonna say it'll go either way. I myself still think it's gonna be like Denver in 6. I wanted to say Denver in 5, but only reason why I think so is because I think that somebody like Kawhi, I think Kawhi gonna get worn down, man.
Oh,
I think it's gonna be a lot of I think they have pieces. They have the pieces to even make it a 7th game, but yeah, the way the playoffs is played and stuff like that, I think he's gonna shine, but I think he's gonna feel the need to like take himself like over the top as usual.
okay.
And I think I think he may potentially in the later games have to sit out.
All right. Before we move on, just a note: the Nuggets and Clippers, 2-2 on the season, have not played since January 8th. But the Denver Nuggets won the final 2 games by a combined 45.
Mm-hmm. He said Harden likes to fish this time of year. Facts.
Hey man. Hey,
facts.
That's my favorite. That's my
and
favorite.
I love
clip,
James Harden, man. But yeah,
when they start that boat on NBA inside the NBA. Now, one thing that the Thunder, okay,
yeah,
the biggest thing with me right now is, I mean, Dallas and Sacramento, they play tonight. Memphis is going to play one of those 2 teams. I think Memphis is better than both of them. It's going to be OKC and Memphis, in my opinion.
Oh, wait, real quick. I'm sorry.
Harden
Nathan
scored
said,
the most isolation points in the league. He's cooking this season now. I want to make a point about that. Do you think, and this is just my opinion, I'm not even going to say do you think, I'm going to say what I think. If this James Harden had this amount of freedom, Joel Embiid might have an NBA Finals appearance by now. If Doc Rivers gave James Harden the same freedom Ty Lue has, they would have made it to the NBA Finals. I mean, because it looked like to the naked eye, everybody was saying, all right, Harden is washed. He can't do it no more. Can't get it done. He not the PG he once was. You know what I'm saying? I think based on the fact that, I mean, running through Embiid, they got some regular season wins, but they ain't experienced playoff success. I think a style change should have been the go-to move versus, I mean, you don't have to blow it up and trade everybody. But if you just simply made a style change, that would have taken the miles off Embiid, put the ball in James Harden's hands. We spaced the floor, pick and roll, isolation. I think they could have had more success in that style. So the fact that James is playing the way he is now, I think that vindicates him from the Philadelphia situation. Now, I said Memphis is probably gonna be the 8th seed. Almost left your stream.
He said you had to.
I see. You gotta let me finish explaining the point.
He said, "Let me land
before we start jumping to conclusions." But OKC versus Memphis. All right. When I talk about This is going to be, in my opinion, this generation's version of Russell Westbrook versus Derrick Rose, John Morant versus SGA. First of all, the different styles they get their points, the different uses of their athleticism. Shay's gonna go off at 35 plus, and I honestly think that it's going to become a situation where the most important player is going to be Triple J for the Grizzlies. He's going to be extremely important because he's going to have to deal with Hartenstein and Chet and Jalen Williams. That's a three-headed monster right there. So I think that's going to be his toughest task. That's going to be putting him in a tough spot because also on the flip side, you still need him to get 15 to 20 points every single game for them to have a chance to win that series. So, I mean, I think, OKC in 4 games. I don't even see it going 5. They have the largest margin of victory over a season in NBA history. I think it's like 1,098 points. That's their total margin of victory for this season. One of my biggest things that I want to see from OKC is because it's the first round, because it's game 1, you're the number 1 seed, 68-14 record. My biggest thing with OKC is I want to see who else do you have beyond SGA, Jalen Williams, and can Aaron Wiggins, provide something? Can Caruso provide something offensively? Who else do you have? Because the later you go into the playoffs, you're going to run into the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? You're going to run into, either Denver or the Clippers. You got to have that 3rd and 4th and 5th guy that can give you some solid minutes. Edge rows. Memphis got a lot of solid defenders. They do, but you got to remember, all right, this is James Harden 2.0.
Right.
SGA is going to get to his spots and he's going to get fouls. And this boy, he can put up 40 points on 10 shot attempts because he's going to get 15 to 20 free throws, especially in the playoffs. He's going to play 40 minutes a night. I just think the thing with Memphis is like we talked about with Memphis versus Golden State. John Morant has got to demand the basketball in big moments, key moments. If you're in a situation where OKC goes on a 6-0 run and John Morant hasn't had a situation where it's like, hey, give me the rock. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think it's going to get away from them. It's going to get out of hand quick. How you feel about OKC versus Memphis? Well, I'm assuming that's the matchup. Don't disrespect Dallas or Sacramento, but the Sacramento Kings is just like the Miami Heat. Oh my God. Speaking of Miami up 71-47 at halftime against the Chicago Bulls. And I'd like to point out, I fully expect Chicago to still come back because that's the type of season we done had. So I mean, I might go on FanDuel right now, put 10 on Chicago money line. But
Edge Bro said Memphis got a lot of solid defenders.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll all the way down. I'm gonna find the Grizzlies. I think they swept Memphis this season. I'm almost positive.
My thing with I can't lie. My thing with OKC dude is just the fact that to me they remind me of the Warriors. I mean, you could say the Warriors now, but like the Warriors from a few years ago, man. Even when they're down, I don't look at it like the game is over. They can be down 20 points going into the 4th, and I don't think the game is over.
Yeah.
Like they as a team, and a lot of times it's as a team. Obviously, Shea gonna do what Shea does, but as a team, they just collectively can give you 30, 40 points in bunches.
Yeah.
Quickly. Yeah. I am with you as far as I wish offensively, they would go back to the pick and roll offense in terms of I mean I don't mind like the spacing, but I would rather Ja had the ball a little bit more. especially going in. But as far as like being able to hold on to like any lead or anything like that, I don't see it happening, man.
So Edge Bros, I just want to throw this out there. All right. Ooh. Nathan Manning.
Okay.
OKC is the new San Antonio. I'm not mad at that comparison. Not mad at that. But to that point, they beat Memphis 4 straight games this year by a combined 73 points. In those games, Shea, 37. Shea, 41. Let me see. Shea, 32. Where's the other one? I think he got a 41 piece in here too. But yeah, it's like 35. That was the other one, 35. But a combined 73.
So I'm gonna tell you right now. That's what you need to do right now. They have that matchup. You might as well put that on your ticket real quick, on your parlay real quick.
Oh yeah, that's a done deal.
Facts.
That's a done deal. Now, let's talk about the Eastern Conference. And you know what? I'm gonna start with the Cavs, okay? Because I think the Miami Heat, based on what we're seeing right now, and I'm pretty sure Miami's already beaten Chicago before, and I think they lost to Atlanta the last time they played each other in the play-in. But I think they can beat the Atlanta Hawks. I think, with healthy, and that's been another problem, healthy Andrew Wiggins. So we're probably going to see Miami versus Cleveland. I want Cleveland to sweep them. Hear me out. Okay? Hear me out. I want the Cleveland Cavaliers to sweep my Miami Heat.
Okay.
Simply for the fact that I want Kevin Durant to feel wanted.
Yeah.
I want KD to feel needed. All right?
Yeah.
I don't want there to be any question about it. No, I don't want Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about the whole Phoenix Suns big three, bring Devin Booker to Detroit. Send him home too. All right? But give Kevin Durant to Miami. We need him. I want him to feel the same way he felt when he went to Golden State the first time. Hey, man, we in shambles. We just can't do it without you.
Right.
I want him to feel like, you know what I mean?
I'm with it.
Like I want him to feel special when he landed in South Beach. But like one of my favorite young players, DG, this gonna be his series, I think, because I think Donovan Mitchell, his matchup is probably gonna be Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins give him some matchup. You don't have to say that. I don't even want. You don't have to put that type of energy out there.
Don't do that, yeah.
You ain't got to put that.
Hey.
Nathan Manning said Kevin Durant
bro.
going to Miami. We don't need to put that type of negativity in the air. All right?
Nathan, we
All right?
need.
We don't need that negativity. All right, positive vibes only. But this has got to be a season for DG. All right? It's got to be a season for DG. I mean, a series for DG because Donovan Mitchell, he's going to be the focal point. Miami, when they have a guy, and I'm talking about perimeter wise, that they have to lock in on an attack. Yeah. They normally have some success in disrupting some things, especially when they have an elite defender. I mean, we had Iggy at one point, had Jay Crowder, had Jimmy Butler. I mean, Spoken lock in on one of those type of guys if he has an elite defender like that on the perimeter. Max Strus is going to be looking to have a big series versus his old team. Evan Mobley, possibly robbed of the Defensive Player of the Year. We'll talk about that. I just think they have too much, playing too well. Adding DeAndre Hunter adds another element to the team. Ty Jerome coming off the bench, probably one of the best 6-man in the league. I mean, I might go on. So you saying he going to the team in green? Oh, I don't know if anybody know the rules. Any of the viewers, all right. It is in my best interest that we don't say the name of the team in green on the channel. All right. It is my best interest. So when we get to the team in green versus the Orlando Magic, the eye test is probably going to take over and talk about that series.
Man.
Because we don't talk about the team in green here. But yeah, I just think they got too much for Miami. And we need Miami to get swept so we can get some help. We need to get some help.
You pretty much said everything on that, dude. They got way too many weapons, dude.
My heart has been in shambles since Jimmy left. I mean, even after he got traded, I still bought another Jimmy Butler Miami Heat jersey. That's just how I feel about it. Like Jimmy is he gonna go down in history as, I mean, the third best Miami Heat player to ever wear this jersey, and he don't even have a championship. That's how much we rock with Jimmy in Miami.
Love Jimmy, man.
Now, let's talk about Pacers Bucks. All right.
Okay.
Pacers beat the Bucks last year. Same scenario. One of the big two wasn't healthy. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's probably gonna average 35, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. Those are the numbers I think we're gonna get from him.
Okay.
No Dame, get healthy. Praying for that dude, man, because I remember Chris Bosh went down. Right, Chris Bosh went down. Same thing. Wemby's dealing with clots as well. Just praying this dude get back to basketball. I don't even care about anything else. Just be healthy, man.
For sure.
I think the things that Milwaukee struggles with are the things that the Pacers are good at: playing up-tempo basketball, having an efficient offense. When you have a guy lead the league in assists, but have some of the lowest turnovers among starting point guards and Halliburton, you're gonna have some success. The only issue I have with Indiana, primary issue I have with Indiana, is Siakam. Siakam cannot be in a situation where he goes missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put a lot of money on Siakam in the past, and I'd be like, hey, I need Siakam to get 20. He'll get 16 in the first half. He'll end the game with 19 and 3 missed free throws.
Right.
You cannot do that in the playoffs with Giannis on the other side. That just can't be. That cannot be the thing. Miles Turner, he's got to have a big performance because Miles Turner and Brook Lopez, they cancel each other out. They play the same style of basketball. Occasionally when Brook goes down to the block, but that's not often. They play the same style. You got to look at the fact that, Kevin Porter Jr. thought his career was dead. Situation happened when he was in Houston. No need to bring it up. But, situation happened in Houston. They let him go. He goes to the Clippers. Doesn't work out. He comes to Milwaukee. He's been playing pretty well for them. I mean, points, rebounds, assists, off of the bench any way you want it, he can get it. He's been playing well, especially coming off the bench with Gary Trent Jr. So I like that, that backcourt combo. I just don't think Milwaukee has any sort of continuity, any sort of flow to their offense beyond give Giannis the basketball and he'll take us there. I don't think they have anything outside of that. So in my opinion, I do think, Milwaukee can win this series simply for the fact that they have the best player, and arguably the second best player in the world. But if the Pacers play the way they are capable of playing, they can win this series, and I wouldn't be surprised by it. With Giannis,
sure.
With Giannis and Dame, Bucks went 3-1 on the season. I mean, they've played twice since the turn of the year in March. Pacers got one, Bucks got one, but like I said, no Dame. It's gonna be a tougher series, but I still rock with the Bucks. I'll say Milwaukee in 6 or 7.
I say no Dame. I don't think they go to the next round. I say they lose in 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
I think they figure out. We always talk about as far as Giannis is shooting and everything like that. He's been tremendous in terms of his mid range.
Yeah.
But we don't give it enough credit, especially this season specifically. But even in the past few years, it's gotten a lot better. But I just think no Dame. Only way I see Indiana, it'll be theirs to lose.
Facts.
I just put it in
Facts.
that sense.
I agree with that. We're gonna save the home team for last.
Okay.
We're gonna save the home team for last. You could talk about the team in green and the Orlando Magic.
Oh yeah, I'll be real quick about the team in green. I'm calling sweep, and I'm calling sweep strictly because they have, and I'm gonna just be real short about it. They have way too many weapons.
Yeah,
They have way too many weapons. They have way too many people that can give you 20, even potentially 30 points. Damn near 5 people. And yeah, I don't think Orlando is I don't even nope. Nah, and nah. I ain't even gonna go too far as like in terms of defense or anything else. They have way too many weapons, man. That's it. That's all I got for it. I'm sorry. Shout out to Orlando, but nah, bro. Not happening. Next one.
You good?
Next
You
one.
good?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's talk about the home team. Detroit Pistons have resurrected themselves.
Yes, sir.
New York Knicks. I coach high school basketball. Walked into and not even thinking. All right, not even thinking about the series.
Mm-hmm.
Walked into the gym wearing a New York Knicks t-shirt. So they let me hear it about that. But Knicks versus Pistons. Cade Cunningham, Thompson twin, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren, Stewart. That's a tough team.
Yeah.
That's a tough team. And they have a very specific style of play. Gritty, but we're gonna run our sets. Malik Beasley, he's shown up. Tim Hardaway Jr. We got shooters in the building.
Yeah.
That's something we ain't being able to say in a long time. I mean, years, right? So we got shooters in the building now. And I say we loosely because I'm not a big fan of the Detroit Pistons, but they're playing well, and I gotta respect it. So I have to call back to a prediction that I made. What was it? 3 or 4 years ago when I said the Pistons was gonna make the playoffs. I called it 3 or 4 years ago. I was speaking into existence. I wasn't talking about that season where they won 15 games. Nah. The season where I had to take the video down and edit that clip out. Nah. I'm talking about this season. All right. So I accurately predicted 4 years later the Detroit Pistons was gonna make the playoffs. You look at the opposite side. You got Jalen Brunson, Towns, you got Hart, OG, Bridges.
Real quick. Nathan Manning said, I still have to hear the name Tobias Harris in 2025.
Tobias Harris over me? Every time I say that name, that's the only clip I think about.
Dude.
That's the only clip. You know what's crazy? Jimmy Butler could have costed that man a crazy bag just from that video. And then that series when they played Philly. Like, I don't know. That's just a bad look for marketing purposes. You know, if I'm the agent and I'm going into the room to negotiate that and they click on the TV and they show me that series and that clip of Jimmy, like that's just, I don't know. That's not a good look. But hey, he been working out for Detroit. Like I said, they got weapons, man. I think they're deeper. I don't even have to say I think. I know they're a deeper team than New York.
Yeah.
They're a deeper team than New York. 3-1 this season versus the New York Knicks. 3-1. So, I mean, how do you feel about the Knicks versus the Pistons? How you feel about that? Is this a coming out party for Cade Cunningham?
I'm going to say, yeah. I'm riding with Detroit, man. I'm riding with Detroit on this one.
Okay.
Outside of how they played, and you just name like the record for the season. I mean, it won't be easy just because of Brunson to me.
Yeah.
To me, when Brunson feel like it, especially like I'll say this, it's not often that he has 2 bad games in a row.
True.
At any point in time.
True.
I think if he end up having 1 bad game, he'll go off a 30-40 the next 2 games just to make up for it. So I don't think it'll be easy.
Was that versus Indiana where he was just going, like he averaged like 35 plus?
It may have been.
Like crazy. That series went 7, I think, right?
And I when I look at like the Pistons, dude, I think they're just coming in like anything else, dude. Like they have nothing to lose. To the point of even last year, nobody was necessarily looking at them, and I think still not looking at them to really do too much of anything. obviously Cade got the buzz going and everything like that. But like when you look at the whole team in general, like nobody's really paying them no mind. And I think with that, that's the battery in the back right now.
Yeah.
Like to go ahead and make a stamp. I think the biggest situation about them losing, the Knicks losing, will be Cat, bro. Cat.
I was gonna say that.
I think if they don't get past the Pistons, I don't know what to say about Cat anymore. Like honestly,
I was gonna say that Cat is the X factor in that series because
yeah,
Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart on the floor, they have a rim protector, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need to pull them away from the basket because OG can get to the cup, all right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 15 to 20. Brunson, he's going to be able to operate in a lot more space, especially if Bridges and OG are knocking down shots. And, Josh Hart is a prolific rebounder. I would say he's the best rebounder in the league for his position. I don't even know if that's a question. And you know what? I'll go even a step further, okay? I won't even say Cat is an X factor. I'll say Cat needs to put up 25 points and 13 rebounds. 25 points and 13 rebounds. If he don't hit those marks, I think the Pistons win this in 6.
Okay.
I think they win in 6 simply because his 25 isn't going to come just from shooting threes and jump shots. He's got to get them in foul trouble. And if you pay attention, if you watch Cat over the years, when he's not being aggressive and attacking and putting the pressure on the opposite big and he's just jacking up shots and stuff like that, he doesn't have a whole lot of success.
Right.
He has to get to the free throw line and also use his three-point shot not as a crutch, but as an added weapon. So if he can do that this series, they're going to have some success. But
do you see them as and granted, that you said they beat them 3-1 this season. Do you see them as the most even team out this situation? I mean, out this playoffs and everything
else?
Let's
go a step further and look at their roster. Because like I said, I know Cade, I know Malik Beasley. He was number 2 in the league in 3-point made field goals.
You got Harris,
Tim Hardaway Jr., Harris,
Thompson.
This might,
Stewart, Schroeder.
Yeah, man. This is
and the thing with the Pistons.
The other day, and
go ahead.
I made a video. I was talking about the Pistons getting to the next round and they'll probably losing the next round. I think I'm gonna make the same mistake I made 4 years ago. Okay. If the Pistons play up to their capability, I mean defensively, disrupting shots, using their length, getting the passing lanes, playing stout defense, rebounding, that's going to be important. Rebounding. And if Cade can be efficient, if Beasley can be efficient, and I say Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. because they're your best shooters, all right? If they can be efficient and knock down open shots, the Pistons could be a threat to get to the conference finals.
Who would they play next? Celtics, right?
Whoa. What are we doing?
No, I'm saying after.
That's what we're doing now. We just blatantly saying the team.
I mean, oh dang,
that's what we doing.
My bad.
Wow.
My bad.
Nah, that's cool. That's cool. All right.
My bad.
We just blatantly throwing that word around here, man.
So
that's what we're doing.
So the Pistons will be playing the team in green, though, right?
Pistons will probably be playing the team in green.
Man,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Disrespect the channel like that. My bad.
That's crazy. Hey, but look what I say about Chicago and Miami. Bulls came out in the second half. They on the 12-5 run. Come on, man. Like I've been hurt enough to know. Like I pick up on these things.
Right.
But hey, let's see if they turn around. Let's try to have a little faith, right?
Yeah.
Let's try to have a little faith.
I got you.
Now moving on to the next topic of conversation. We're gonna talk about end of the season awards. I'm gonna
let you have it on this one. I'll chime in, but I'll let you have it on this one because we'll pause on that. But specifically because I feel like you are
back to back.
You are way more
craziness.
versed in this subject real quick. and everything. I'll chime in a little bit though.
Coach of the year, JJ Redick.
Okay.
JJ Redick. Because the reason why I say JJ Redick is first year as a head coach. Obviously, you have one of the greatest players of all time. You have arguably top 5 player in the league on your roster. Two things, okay? You have gained the trust, undeniable trust of LeBron and Nathan. Give me a second, all right? You know what? Let's talk about that in a second. Nathan says, does any of today's superstars have what it takes to do what LeBron did in 2007? Let's talk about 2007 real quick. If you look at the first round when they played the Wizards, all right? No Gilbert Arenas, no Caron Butler. You had Anton Jameson and Antonio Daniels. Those were the two guys for the Washington Wizards. That team was 41-41. Get them out of here. You played the New Jersey Nets the next round. Albeit you had Vince Carter, Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson, but they were terrible defensively. They had no rim protector or anything of that nature. 41-41. New Jersey Nets, 41-41. Get them out of here. Then you play the Pistons. Albeit Pistons 53-29. Still a good team. Still a playoff team. You have Chauncey, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, Richard Hamilton. But when you're playing against LeBron James, there's one key factor that you absolutely positively need to help limit him. You need a rim protector. Ben Wallace was not in Detroit. He was in Chicago. All right. So you're playing, you don't play any real comp until you get to the conference finals. Okay. At that point, then LeBron turns it on and absolutely obliterates them in game, was it 5 or 6? 25 out of 30 points. 29 of the last 30 points or something crazy like that, right? I see a situation where now you can't do that. You're playing more talent in the first rounds. I'm not talking about, that era as a whole. I'm talking about that specific year in 2007. You're not going to play back-to-back 500 teams and then play, a 50-win team for the first time when you get to the conference finals. I don't think it's going to shake like that because you still got, if you look at the East, you got the team in green, you got the Cavs, you got the Knicks, you got the Pistons. You're going to face, you got the Milwaukee Bucks. You're going to face more talent going on your way to the conference finals than that team did. Same thing with the Western Conference. So, no, I don't think anybody right now is going to have a run like that, specifically based on the comp. But if I had to put my money on anybody, I would say Nikola Jokic, simply because 30, 12, and 10. That's what he's bringing to the table. So, if you're going to have that output in the regular season, I can only expect 36 to 38, 15 and 11 or 12 or something like that. I can expect that output to increase. So that's what it's going to take to actually do the same thing Bron did in the playoffs in 2007. So no, but if I put money, I put money on Nikola Jokic. Talking about JJ Redick, all right. I want him to be coach of the year because yes, you have LeBron, you have Luka, you get their trust. That's a big deal for a first-time head coach to do that. Then you unlock Austin Reeves to take his game to the next level. Then you manage to say, all right, the pieces that previous head coaches for the LA Lakers said we had nothing, for. We can't unlock Rui Hachimura or cause him to be effective every time up the court. We can't do the same with Vandy. Vandy's been unhealthy. Gabe Vincent's been non-existent since he came from Miami. All of a sudden, he's playing well. He's getting meaningful minutes, knocking down big shots. That aspect of it. And then on top of the fact, you have to navigate the whirlwind that is the LeBron James, Bronny James dynamic and that narrative and all those conversations going on with that. You have to navigate that as well. I think, on the court and off the court, X's and O's schematically, game planning, managing LeBron's health. It's been a top to bottom phenomenal season for him. Rookie of the year. don't really know it. I mean,
Oh, real quick.
yeah.
I'm gonna add to this one. I think that to Edge Bros, to his point, I'm going with the OKC coach. What is it, Mark Dagno?
I'm not gonna.
Man, my bad, brother. MD. All right, so MD, look, look, Mark. I got Mark as mine. I believe last season, what he was coach of the year last season, right? I believe.
Think so.
I think so. Better season last year. I mean, better season this year than last year. And like I said, I'm just riding with that team. So like, I'll definitely say him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, my lady, stopping to get some food.
Oh, you do your thing.
See.
Shout out to everybody out there with somebody, and then shout out to everybody who don't. Because
Yeah, I seen her in the chat. I seen in the chat. Yeah, I seen it in the chat.
Just hit me up. Say she going to bed, man. Love you, babe.
Turn off the lights and light a candle. I see you. But my rookie of the year, I got Devin. Not Devin. I got Stephen Castle.
Okay.
And it's tough because I want to be biased, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Kel'el Ware. He stepped in, filled that 5-man spot like we were all hoping he would. But I think
we definitely talked about that.
I think Stephon Castle is in a unique spot because you start gaining your confidence, then they make a deal to bring in De'Aaron Fox. You lose minutes. That should threaten you. That should threaten your progress. But he got even better, and then De'Aaron Fox, he gets injured. Now you're looking at Devin Vassell like, hey, bro, you might be on the trade block when De'Aaron Fox come back. I mean, you starting looking like that. So I got Stephon Castle, 14 points a game, almost 4 rebounds, 4 assists. I like his game. I like his confidence, athletic, doesn't rely on his athleticism, can shoot the 3, can play defense. He's a willing defender. I like him for that rookie of the year.
I agree.
Most improved. I generally ignore this, category because nobody really knows what most improved is. I mean, everybody's been wanting to give it to Cade Cunningham. Cade's a #1 draft pick. Cade is doing what Cade's supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like that saying, I'm not gonna give you a pat on the back for doing your job. You know what I mean? Like,
if I did though, I would give it to Cade. Last year I know he had injury.
But he was the rookie of the year. That's you know what I'm saying?
I'm with that. I'm with that. But okay, well, how you would look at like most improved, you would look at it more along the lines of like if somebody was not like didn't necessarily have any accolades.
Yeah.
And didn't have improved. Okay.
Not just accolades, but like we don't even think about this dude.
Got you. Okay.
Like, so all of a sudden, so if I'm looking at most improved, I might look at Zubac from the Clippers.
Zubac is a good pick.
Because you lose, Paul George, Leonard is always injured, no Westbrook.
Yeah.
Terrence Mann, he got traded. Norman Powell missed time, and somehow the Clippers are still 50-32. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Regular season stats, 16.8 points, 12.6 rebounds. His career numbers are 10.2 points and 8 rebounds. So he improved in those 2 categories. And his field goal percentage went up. 2.7 assists. So across the board, points, rebounds, and assists, he's having a career year.
I would say, yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Zub. 6th man. I'm not really up on the stats for 6th man of the year. I'm more of along the lines of the eye test.
Mm-hmm.
Pun intended. Shout out to my guy. Go subscribe to his channel.
Thank you.
I like Ty Jerome from the Cleveland Cavaliers. 12.5 points off the bench, 2.5 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and he's shooting 51.6% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
I like his game. Regular season.
I would say
he's on a borderline for 50, 40, 90 right now.
Really?
Yeah. 51, 43, and 87. Those were his season numbers off of the bench. All right. So I don't even think that's debatable. I think, sixth man of the year, Ty Jerome. But we're going to stay on Cleveland because I think it needs to be a conversation when we talk about Evan Mobley and Draymond Green for Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
I think the key term of that is
you
of
said
the
who?
year.
Who? I'm sorry?
Draymond and Evan Mobley.
Okay.
I think the key term has got to be of the year. Not since Jimmy Butler got traded to Golden State.
Right.
That's when that conversation really took off. And you know what? Draymond is, I'm pretty sure he finished first in the polls to end the regular season. I just think Evan Mobley, totality of the season, I just think he had a better defensive year, anchoring that defense. I mean, I don't think it should be a conversation where, yes, Draymond Green has played well defensively the second half of the season.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes when a guy does something every single night for the entirety of the season, hey, like I said, we are not afraid of technical difficulties. Eye test gonna pop up in just a few seconds. You all right? You all right? All right, we're just gonna wait for him to pop back in. But as I was saying, we look at Defensive Player of the Year. We get bored when a guy does it for the entirety of the season. We get bored and we just fall asleep at the wheel and let a guy swoop in like Draymond, who only has to play that way for a couple months. So it can get murky. I got, let me see, MVP. Let's see, MVP. It's tough. It's tough because everybody's talking about. There we go. We back.
We back.
There we go.
Again, I gotta find out what's going on with that.
Hey,
I'm not even touching nothing.
We ain't scared of technical difficulties.
You
We
feel me?
ain't scared of technical difficulties.
Real
Came
quick.
back like the Dark Knight Rises.
Did you say who your you said who you was talking about defensive player?
Yeah. I got Evan Mobley because I think, he did it for the entirety of the year. We can't get bored, towards the end of the season. Like, all right, I mean, he's been number one consistent pick, and all of a sudden, Dre plays well for the past 3 months, and then now, you know what I mean?
I hate the conversation. Yeah.
I think
Dre,
it needs to be.
Dre.
I think it needs to be, all season long. They've been the top 1, 2, 3, or 4 defense in the league, and he's the anchor. That's typically what happens. I mean, we look at Rudy Gobert. We let him rob the league of 4 of those because, I mean, Jazz had a top defense. The Minnesota Timberwolves had a top defense. So, I mean, let's not change it up. I mean, I understand Draymond is a legendary, defensive player, multiple all defensive team, championship pedigree and all that stuff. But Evan Mobley's had the year that he's had, and they're 64-18. So
I can't lie, dude. I don't even think of Draymond when it came to it. Personally, I was more on the line of Dyson Daniels.
I say no to Dyson Daniels because, yeah, he's getting steals and he's in his passing lanes. I think sometimes the numbers can be deceiving.
Okay.
I think the numbers can be deceiving because if you look at Evan Mobley, he's the anchor, but he's also the guy that has to be on ball. I think Dyson Daniels, I mean, I don't see a real impact of his defense to the Hawks winning because they're in the play-in. You know what I mean? Evan Mobley's on ball, off ball, anchoring the defense, and their number one defense, and they're 64-18. I think that kind of, you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
It's like
it's definitely one of, yeah. I can because it also in a sense I mean, obviously, like, he definitely does play the passing lanes. I like how he plays defense as far as like the help defense. He definitely can lock in mano a mano. Especially they've put him like a lot more, specifically now, to guard potentially one of the best players, if not the best player. So like, I know he's young, and I know they got a whole lot going on, but I'm gonna definitely go with him. 3 steals a game is crazy to me.
Okay. Oh yeah, shout out to FanDuel. He's a safe bet for that.
Yeah.
MVP.
Okay.
This is a hot topic of conversation. But let's go like this, okay? When Russell Westbrook won the award, what was his seed?
8th, right?
No, he was 6th.
6th? Okay.
But he averaged a triple-double.
Okay.
All right? Averaged a triple-double, and I'm almost positive he led the league in scoring. So he was the leading scorer, triple-double king, but they were a 6th seed, okay?
Okay.
OKC, they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, number 1 team in the league, 68-14, averages 30 a night. Let's just pull up his numbers so we're not getting anything misconstrued, all right? We're going to have accurate numbers when we talk about this conversation because I feel like it's important, all right? 32.7 points a game, number 1 in the league. 5 rebounds, 6.4 assists, 51.9 shooting percentage from the field, 89.8 free throw percentage, 37.5 from 3. 1 block, 1.7 steals. That's a great stat line.
For sure.
All right. But the thing about it is Nikola Jokic has more rebounds, more assists, more blocks, more steals per game, better 3-point percentage, number 1 in the league, and I think he has a better go to Nikola Jokic real quick. But yeah, but like when you think about that, there's a center doing this.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, 10.2 assists, 1.8 steals. He does have less blocks. So I was incorrect on that aspect. He does have less blocks, but I'm almost positive he's number 1 in the league in 3-point percentage he was at the time, but he does have a higher 3-point percentage, 41.7. When you think of, the award, okay? We just read both of their stats. One player is number 1 in the league. The other player is top 4 in their conference and have home court advantage. Do you think that him having home court advantage, number 4 seed, Denver Nuggets, and doing what he's doing and has the numbers, do you think that's enough for him to take the award away from SGA? Because I got Joker winning it.
It's enough for me. I definitely have Joker winning it. I understand like how people view obviously the record that OKC has.
Mm-hmm.
People have brought up like them having a younger team and everything else. And again, it's tough because of the fact that like again, we go into that whole conversation of like criteria and everything else. But I can if we want to be like that as far as like how we view most valuable, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you 1,000%. That team does not do anything without Joker. If Joker's down, it's over, dude. If Joker goes down, it's over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just look into the camera on that one. It's over if Joker goes down.
Yeah.
I think and I'm just saying that along the lines of the conversations that typically people have. I know we go like best record. I know we go and everything like that. And, people can argue that, all right, well, he's putting up these type of numbers and they have the best record and they have the best record by a mile. But I also look at it in that sense. They were just Denver was just number 2 like the other day.
Yeah.
And I kind of credit that to the fact that like I feel like a lot of teams do, they all right, we already pretty much there, so it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't think it was anything like too strategic when it came to who they're gonna play with next, who they're gonna play against next. I mean,
yeah,
going into the playoffs, anything like that. So I personally, I'm giving it to Joker, man.
Okay, we on the same page with that. But man, completed the full playoff preview.
I'm sorry. One thing. And if anybody else want to choose Shai, absolutely fine. I would not be mad if Shai wins or nothing like that. But what I can say is this: please don't choose based on voter fatigue, bro.
Don't do that. Yes,
please.
And I think we got to do something respectful, man. We got to make sure Giannis still get his love.
Definitely, bro.
He putting up 32, 11, and 6 right now. One of the highest, field goal percentages in the league. Improved shooter, improved free throw shooter. So, I mean, got to always show him love because he's going to finish in top 3 every single time. I mean, no doubt about it.
And one more thing. We got an NBA, man. NBA got to show love to, not even just the NBA, but I would say more importantly, the media, not necessarily the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 people that we just talked about are all international players. I just want that to continue to sink in.
And let's add something else to it.
Mm-hmm.
Luka Doncic is in that scene as well.
Come on, man.
So you're four consistent all international players.
All international. Bro.
Yeah, you're right. But man, full playoff preview, season awards. 100% appreciate the eye test for coming through, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Bro. Great episode. Appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody watching, everybody viewing. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, go over to the eye test, subscribe to his channel, hit that like button, turn the bell on, stay up to date on all things outside the playbook and the eye test. That's one more for the good guys. We out.
One more, baby.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if